The car was running perfectly up until it wasn't. It didn't stutter and stall, it just stopped. Now I'm busy reading the engine control module faults, and there are a bunch of them here, including one that says that the engine control module is disabled, but that's impossible because the car is running. So I know that these are legacy faults. So what I'm going to do is we're going to clear these, and I get one that comes back, which is camshaft position sensor circuit range performance, but it's P0341. In this video I'm going to be replacing my Hall effect sensor on my VW Golf 2000 year model Mark 3.5 Mark 4 Golf Cabriolet. Now this has the 2-litre 8-valve AWG engine, which I believe is very similar to a couple of other models such as the ABA, but yeah, it's a slightly different version because it has this auxiliary air pump, but largely appears to be exactly the same as the other ones I mentioned. Now previously I have done a cam belt change on this car. I know that it is correctly timed, it's been running perfectly, and all of a sudden after a couple of weeks use, driving around and enjoying it in the summer, I was stopped idling, taking some photographs of the car ironically, and it just died. Didn't stutter die, it just stopped running, and I had to recover it back home with my T4. I've run some diagnostic checks. I've checked the coil at the back there to make sure it's got spark. It has got spark. I've got fuel, but I do not have spark at the spark plugs when I earth them to the engine or anywhere else. And that leads me to believe that the Hall effect sensor, which is down here on the distributor, has failed. I've taken some different readings from it. Although it shows 12 volts at the power and at the earth when connected to the battery, I do not get a signal from the sender wire, which is the green wire in the center there. So I'm just going to be replacing the Hall effect sensor, see if it goes away. It wasn't very expensive. This is the replacement that I've received. It's OEM quality from Lucas. So let's get the distributor out and see how we can replace this. Now there are some very good videos from various other channels, particularly Thomas from Exo VCDS, but none of them deal specifically with this engine. Like I said, what I'm going to be doing is replacing the Hall effect sensor. So the ABA doesn't have a camshaft sensor as such. It uses the crankshaft sensor, which is down below there, and the Hall effect sensor to send the signals to the ECU. The later engines have the camshaft sensor behind the camshaft sprocket, so this engine does not have that. Now, like I've said, I've performed various tests as recommended by other guys on YouTube. So I've just got to release those two clips, and that will release the distributor cap. Right, got to pull the rotor off. Now it is not at TDC right now, so I'm just going to rotate this so that you can see it at TDC. During the video you could see the rotor rotating on the distributor shaft. The reason why that is important is because if you're having these faults and your car's at TDC, but when you take the distributor cap off and you rotate the engine, if the rotor does not rotate, it means two things. Either your cam belt has snapped, or somehow the distributor is not being turned by the intermediary shaft. So now mine is definitely turning, as you can see, I'm going to remove the 13mm nut down the bottom there. It's not super tight and should never be super tight. All it needs to do is hold the distributor in place and stop it from rotating. When the distributor is timed correctly, the rotor will be pointing at the engine block at 12 o'clock. And then what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that your distributor cap number 1 plug lead is bang on top of that when your engine is at top dead center, because then you know it's correctly timed. Now apparently there's some margin over here for backwards and forwards, left to right rotation, and the ECU on this engine in these models can compensate, but it's always best to try and have it lined up as straight as possible. So the rotor arm just pulls off like that. You might have to jiggle it a bit, and then off comes the dust cap. Now my distributor is not original, it's definitely aftermarket. Just unplug it like that. So these are the 3 connectors that you test to see if they've got 12 volts on your power and 12 volts on your earth, and then you know that your wiring is good. Mine is good, but if I trigger the center signal pin with ignition on, I do not get spark from the king lead. So I know that the Hall effect sensor is somehow not working correctly. Now to get the distributor out, just got to gently wiggle it. Okay, so after a little bit of jiggery pokery, I have got the distributor free, and that's what it looks like. Now an original one will have the part number stamped on it somewhere, and as you can see, mine is not original. The other annoying thing about this distributor is that it does not have a mark anywhere on the case to indicate where number 1 spark plug should be pointing with the rotor. So now what I want to do is remove this dude out of here, which is the Hall effect sensor. This is the whole thing is called a distributor, and this is the bit that I need to replace. And as you can see, it's held on by 2 screws, which it doesn't look like I'll be able to replace without taking this whole thing apart. So let's go to the workshop. So here is my distributor that I've just removed from my 2-litre 8-valve Golf AWG engine. I have quite a bit of vertical movement in this shaft. I don't know if that's normal. There's no lateral play, but there's definitely vertical play. So I'm going to proceed on the assumption that this is good, that this is normal. Maybe I can tighten it up when I put it back together, because I do have to separate this top section here from the shaft. So I'm going to knock this pin out first, put some penetrating fluid in there to begin with. Let's get something to knock out the pin. Now the pin does have a smaller side and a larger side, so obviously to knock it out I need to knock from the smaller side because it'll push out. Put some penetrating fluid in there. Now I'm using a wooden workbench because I do not want to damage this helical gear here, and what I want to do is just tap that out. So you can see the pin is almost all the way out now. Now I don't want to damage that because obviously it'll be very difficult to find another one. So I've got myself a nail, and let's see if I can use this to drive out that pin. That's the pin. So let's just tap on that. Ba-ba! And it's free. And that's the little piece that goes on the top. Now I need to remember the order that these things go in. So there is a washer. So it looks like this piece pushes down on that top bit there and can only be pushed a certain distance. So that vertical movement in the distributor might be normal. Don't quote me on that. This is just how I do it. I'm not a professional. Just a willing amateur enthusiast VW owner who wants to share with other VW owners to keep their cars on the road. So that's the Hall effect sensor over there, the Hall effect sender, and it's held in place by two Phillips screws or star screws. I'm going to give that screw a bit of penetrating fluid. So let's grab a screwdriver. Always make sure you drop tools when using them. But I do suspect this has been changed in the past because these screws are not new. This particular one has seen better days. Be right back, need another tool. The tool that I'm going to use to get that stubborn semi-stripped screw out is called an impact driver. And basically what it is what looks like a heavy-duty screwdriver. You put a bit in the end and then you smack this end with a hammer, and what it does is that when you hit this, it turns this end and wallop it. Right, put the jibber jabber. Let's get this Hall effect sensor out. So undo the screws. Right, so that is now loose and should slide straight out. It's a little electronic device, and little electronic devices can fail. So that's an attempt at lubricating this. Its grease is dried up. I'll make sure that those bearings are nicely greased with some silicone grease before I put this back together. But let's get this new sensor in place. And this is hopefully where I don't discover that the one I've ordered is different, because I did use the official VW part number, which I will put on screen now. Reminder to future Steve editing this. So that just goes nice. So interestingly, this one that I'm installing from Lucas, that's the part number over there, hopefully it focuses, has got brass or copper attachments, whereas this one is just tinware. Right, I need to find another screw. Be right back. There's one. It's always useful using a magnetized screwdriver for this kind of thing. Just a little bit of thread lock is quite sufficient. Okay, I'm not over tightening those. That is quite good enough. Now I can reassemble the pieces, but what I want to do is make sure that this has got a little bit of lube. I'm going to use silicone grease. It's the kind of grease that you use to put on brake calipers, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is just give this a little bit of grease. I'll also do it from this side. A lot of excess grease there. I think I might have been a little bit generous. And what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of the silicone grease on the O-ring. So that goes in nice and snug. You can replace the O-ring if you want to. I've checked mine. I'm quite happy that it is still functioning well. Right, before I put this back on, I need to make sure that this window, of which there is only one, is in the correct position. Now my distributor does not have a mark on the casing to indicate where number one should be, number one spark plug lead. But what I did note before is that it's roughly 90 degrees from the Hall effect sender. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that when I put this back on, that window is pointing at this gap here. That is the observation that I made. I haven't been able to verify that that's supposed to be 100% the case. Now, some distributors have 4 windows for 4 cylinders. These engines only have 1 window in the rotor, and it's about there. Now, what I want to do is make sure that I have as little vertical movement in this as possible. Good. All right, let's bang that down a bit. What I've got is a deep socket here, which is a 14mm spark plug socket. So it's probably not 14mm, it's probably a little bit more. But anyway, it fits perfectly in that recess on top of that cap. And what I want to do is I just want to tap it down. Now I need to put the little pin back in. So it'll be the narrow side first in the big side of the pinhole. And so it goes on. Perfecto mundo. So I've still got quite a bit of vertical play there. And I still have this play, which I'm just going to have to live with unless I can find a replacement distributor, which at the moment I can't. So I'm just putting a little bit of assembly lube on this helical gear because this has to push down on the intermediary shaft, and if it's dry it will make it more difficult to insert. A little bit of lube is going to help. Let's go and put this back in the car. Right, can you see there? A little window. So when that is at 90 degrees, because that's the rotor, that'll be pointing at the engine, and then at 90 degrees I've got the Hall effect sender, and then just offset over here is the window. That should be good. Now I can put it back in the car. Also, a note about this vertical travel in my distributor. It is a little bit less than original because I think that that had moved up a smidge over the years, but from what I've seen on other videos, this vertical movement is okay, so it shouldn't be a problem. There has to be a little bit of movement because of this helical coil. It's going to move slightly while the engine rotates. Okay, the distributor is in. It is nice and tight. That is the rotor pointing that way. It's not exactly pointing directly at the car, but that's okay because there is a little bit of movement. So long as I get the number 1 spark plug lead lined up with the rotor. First I need to put on the cap, and then I can put the distributor cap on. Now number 1 lead is that one at the back there. You can see number 1. It needs to be on there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.